What's up guys, Aroneous here with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the new Fragment Summon event that's coming soon, and it is a good Fragment Summon champion, probably one of the greatest Fragment Summon champions we've gotten in a long time, so let's get into it. Alright guys, so we've got behind me here the new Fragment Summon champion coming very soon, and boy, this is an insane champion. You need to be going for this guy, especially if you're free to play. He's gonna change your account tenfold. Trust me when I go through this guy's kit. He's gonna be insane for anybody's account. It's also gonna be really good for endgame players too that don't have like Duchess and things like that. So this guy's name is Pythion. So I hope I said that right. I think it's Pythion. It's kind of like Python, except they just added an I at the end there between the O. So Pythion, it's a Lizardmen champion, legendary support based champion, and he is a Force champion. So really good against those magic affinity nukers that come into play in Arena a lot, right? So let me just slide myself over. Let me get into his kit. So right here, we've got this guy's kit, and boy, this guy looks insane, by the way. He looks ridiculously cool, and I really just wish that, you know, Plarium could pay attention to not just the aesthetics of the game, because they do an awesome job, obviously, with aesthetics in this game. Phenomenal job, right? But they need to put more time into other things in the game, you know, rearranging their tournaments, rearranging their events to make it more interesting and impactful for their game and their player base as well. They need to update things to make them not easier, but just make them more fun and make it so that people want to try new things, right? They haven't come out with new rare champions anymore. It doesn't seem like they're going to want to bring many rare champions anymore, to be honest. It doesn't seem like they're ever going to make any more commons or uncommon champions, and I have a common and uncommon only account that I play on. Honestly, I wouldn't mind having some more commons and uncommons, especially a common or uncommon that can do an AoE drop defense 30%. Come on, help a brother out. Dang. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Basically, we're going to get into this guy's skill kit, and you're going to love this skill kit. He's actually really good for Arena. He's good for dungeons. He's good for endgame content. He's really good for Hydra as well. So his first ability here, Rapacious Staff, attacks one enemy 2 times, heals the ally with the lowest HP by 5% of this champion's max HP after each hit. So in total, he's going to be healing the ally with the lowest HP by 10% of his max HP. So that's phenomenal, right? That's a good A1. Nothing like over the top. It's not OP, but it's very good. And then on the A2, it's Shed Skin, removes all debuffs from all allies, then heals them by 10% of their max HP, heals each ally by an extra 5% of their max HP for each debuff removed from them, and it also places a block debuffs buff on all allies for 2 turns. If you think about another champion that does something similar to that, I believe there's champions like Wither the Crowned. She removes all debuffs. And I don't know if she plays, I think she places like a continuous heal on the allies or just does a massive heal on all allies. So this guy paired with Wither is going to be super annoying. Paired with Duchess, super annoying, right? All these, it just seems like Arena is just going to become more and more tankier and tankier as time goes on, and just leaving that speed team back in the gutters. You know, the speed race is over. It's all about pretty much going slow, being tanky, or in having one champion that's fast enough to at least remove all debuffs and put you back in the fight. Because without having the decreased defense, for most champions out there that are nukers, they're not going to take you out if you have a really crazy tanky team, right? Especially if you have like Necrit and things like that on your team. So really good ability. It does book down to a 3-turn cooldown, so that's pretty good. It comes back pretty fast, and then it does have what, 4 books there, 3 books in the A1, so that's 7 books so far. A3, Immortal Serpent, 7-turn cooldown, which is big, but let's see what it does. Revives all dead allies, 50% HP, 50% turn meter, and then places a 25% strengthen buff on all allies for 2 turns. That's crazy, and it does get booked out to a 4-turn cooldown. So that's actually pretty phenomenal skill. The turn meter boost is really, really good. The strengthen is what really, really brings up that amazing defense type of character build that you can put for arena. So tag team arena, especially arena, but tag team is where I would use this guy on my free-to-play main account. He would go the extra mile for me. This guy is kind of like, he's not the same as Duchess, but he's pretty powerful. He's a really good support-based champion in defense, and I think he would seriously help my defense teams for tag team or in just arena in general. For overlay, which is the passive ability, allies receive 5% less damage from skills for each buff on them, and it stacks up to 25%. So if you do have a Duchess with this guy, it's going to be insane, right? Because if his passive stacks with a Duchess, that's kind of ridiculous because Duchess already has a passive that goes up to, I believe, 25%. So let me actually take a look at Duchess really, really quickly and I'll bring you back. Alright, so we've got Duchess here, and Duchess is a demon spawn, and her passive is decreases the damage taken by all allies from AoE attacks by 25% and only 15% from bosses. A crazy, ridiculous passive. If she is paired with him, let me just go back to him really quickly. If she's paired with this guy, then assuming that it works the way I'm thinking that it's going to be working, you could reduce 50% of the damage in total if you have 5 buffs on your allies. Now, Duchess does bring 3 buffs, which is pretty fantastic. And then if you have like a Necrit, he's going to bring more buffs. With like a Candrafon, he's going to bring buffs to himself. So Candrafon could take 50% reduced damage from AoE attacks if you have Pythion and Duchess on the same team. And then take it an extra step further if people are throwing in that other new champion there. What's her name? So she's on the Shadowkin faction. I'm going to show you her as well. And this is the new champion right here, Harima. So Harima is pretty ridiculous as well. Also has a passive. Ignores enemy. So enemy ignore defense effects are decreased by 50%. So anybody that's going to try to attack Duchess, Pythion, and her, they're going to just take a ridiculous amount of reduced damage. And I think it would be a kind of an annoying team to go up against. I'm not sure if people would end up doing that. Let me know in the comments down below if you're a whale and you would add those 3 together as a team for defense. Probably not. Maybe you would. I don't know. But I don't have those champions. But yeah, pretty crazy skill kit that he has, and it can really pair well with other good support-based champions or defense-based champions. And also has an aura, increases ally resistance in all battles by 60. So that's pretty insane. So he's going to be really good in general progression. He's going to be fantastic in Lizardmen faction crypts, right? So if you're struggling in Lizardmen faction crypts, this is the guy that you need to beat the Lizardmen faction crypts. I've already beaten the faction crypts on my account for my free-to-play main account. So obviously I wouldn't need him for there, but he would actually speed up my faction war team for stage 20 and 21 because he's going to revive my team. So right now, I don't even think that I have a team that's really strong or even a reviver that I can think of. Let me just check that really quickly. Do I even have a reviver? Is Lizardmen faction open? It's not open right now, which kind of stinks. Oh, I'm also on my pay-to-win account. I'm not on my free-to-play main account, but I'm pretty sure I don't have a reviver that I can remember or recall. Let's see, Lizardmen. I'll just go here. If I have Broadmaw, yeah, I have Broadmaw. So I do have a Lizardmen Reviver on my free-to-play main because I did fuse Broadmaw, which you can fuse Broadmaw right here in the portal, in the fusions. Pretty easy to fuse, to be honest with you. He's a very, very good Reviver. He did get a buff, so you can consider using him in the faction crypts as well. But again, this guy Pythion is going to be phenomenal for almost any account. Obviously, for those super endgame accounts, you pretty much have everything that you even need to win the game. You've already probably been in platinum, things like that. But for people like myself with a free-to-play account, anybody that has a free-to-play or very low-spend account, this guy is going to be phenomenal for you. And you really, really should be going for this guy. And since he's a fragment summon, he should be easier to come by, right? You should be able to save all of your resources at this time so that that way you can save up to try to go for this guy. And I will be going for this guy. He looks phenomenal. He has a great skill kit, great for progression, great for also Hydra, if I haven't said it already, and also dungeons and things like that. So consider going for this guy. He's going to be insane. Love this guy's kit. This was actually a really good champion that Plarium brought out for everybody in the player base. So if you liked the video, guys, really appreciate it. You should consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you guys for sticking around this long. I really appreciate y'all, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Take care.